Our next guest is a Michelin-star chef who made his way all over the globe from Australia, from working in intense kitchens to television shows and owning restaurants. We have Chef Curtis Stone joining us today. Welcome, Curtis.
Thank you so much. How you doing?
Thanks for being here, Chef. So we're always hearing about Michelin stars, but can you tell our audience and myself what it really means to be a Michelin star chef and what it felt like to earn yours?
Look, it's an award given out by the Michelin Guide, which is a guide born in France that's all over the world these days. And you know, as a young chef, you grow up working in these restaurants that have a Michelin star, and it's always your dream, of course, to get your own. So when you finally get that recognition, it is a very special moment, and it's a bit like our Oscars. It's our big night that the Michelin reveals.
It's like he gets a green jacket.
I think he explained it.
Okay, cool. You've been on countless cooking competition shows, and now you're a judge on Crime Scene Kitchen. Tell us what is different about judging this show that you find really, really fun.
Look, first of all, the contestants don't know what they're supposed to be baking until they go into that crime scene kitchen, and they walk in there and they have to try and sort of decode all of the clues that are left behind. So obviously something's been baked in that kitchen and they have to figure out what it was, but they all guess slightly different things, which is kind of the fun part. So what we get to do is to watch them bake in. They bake for several hours, and then of course they present it to us. The question is, did they guess the right thing, and have they actually baked the right thing? Because if they haven't, then they have no chance of winning. And then Yolanda Gamp and myself get to do all of the tasting. It's hosted by Joel McHale, so you can imagine it's a whole lot of fun.
Oh, love it.
So, Chef, I know you're doing a TV show with all this and you're having fun, but do you ever feel bad about being critical towards someone's food that you know they put so much love and effort into, and then you kind of just smash it in their face? Not literally.
Oh, no, I love it. That's one of my favorite parts.
Yeah.
No, of course. There's so much energy and effort put in by the contestants. So when they do make a mistake, it's a real bummer that you've got to sort of point it out. But the truth is, I think most people that put something up, they know if it's right or if it's not right. You know, so they know what's coming.
Well, this is great for me because my son grew up watching Ratatouille. That's when I learned about Michelin stars. No shit, for real. And now we watch Hell's Kitchen. He's a big cooking show fan, and so am I by default. So I want to ask you, if you were competing on Crime Scene Kitchen, which famous chef would you pick as your partner?
Well, it's a baking show, so I think I'd have to go with Yolanda. She's one of the greatest cake artists on the planet, and I think I have a bakery, so I'm a great baker. I bake pies and cookies and all of that good stuff. But Yolanda's got that artistry. She can turn a cake into literally a sculpture. So, yeah, we'd be a good pair.
Ooh. Chef, I got to know, because a friend of the show, Joe McHale, has been on before. Does he ever pull pranks on set on you guys?
Oh, it's non-stop. It's like being 14 again. It's so fun. He's so ridiculous, and yeah, no, it's. He actually came into Gwen, my restaurant. He dressed himself as a waiter. This has got nothing to do with the show, by the way. And he walked around the room offering people canapes, and he was telling them that it was horse. Of course, we don't cook horse. We have nothing to do with it. But that's just him. You know, like he can't help himself.
This is horse.
So we understand that congratulations are in order because you just celebrated your 10-year anniversary with your wife, Lindsay.
Wow.
Isn't she pretty? You stay with her for 10 years.
Two cuties.
Y'all look like the picture that comes in the frame. Like, that's not even right, okay? So we have to know, how did you woo her, and which dish of yours made her fall for you?
What a go-to for a first date.
Well, our very first date, she was 40 minutes late. I won't mention that. I was standing there having a glass of wine, and then she arrived, and the bartender said, "What would you like to drink?" And she said, "Oh, what single malt whiskey do you have?" And she said, "Yeah, I'll have this one, and I'll just have it neat." And I was like, "Oh my God, I'm standing here with a glass of rosé." I felt totally outclassed. So the first thing I ever made for her was I made a chocolate mousse the following week, but I put some whiskey in it, and it just happened to be in the fridge the first time I invited her around to my house. So
there you go. This whole thing. That's awesome. Oh, what a great go-to.
Wow. Michelin-star whiskey
I have
pudding.
a random question.
Please.
What would you suggest? Obviously, people are not professional chefs, but if a guy does want to make a...
Or a girl.
Yes, from
He's asking
talking about
for himself.
A first date, you're trying to woo somebody. You're not a great cook, but you're decent. What do you say is a good go-to to try and woo, to try and have the same situation you have?
Well, I reckon you've got to figure out what their favourite thing is, like I did with the whiskey. Find out what's the ingredient that she loves, or what's something that she really likes, and then just have a go at it. Doesn't matter if it's perfect, but the fact that you thought about her in that way, I think that's the win.
How about your sons? Either of your sons taken after you in the kitchen?
Yeah, they love it. They're both in the kitchen with me a lot. Poor Hudson, I used to put him in the sink before he was old enough to climb out of it when I was in the kitchen at the restaurant. So, yeah, they've both been around it forever, and they're both good kids. They both love food, and they're in the kitchen with me a lot still.
That's amazing.
Oh, that's
Thank
great.
you so
Chef,
much.
at barbecues, real fast, do you tell people, like, yeah, do it like this? Because I don't like that. But if you said it, I'd be okay with that.
If they ask, I'll help them out.
Oh,
But otherwise,
That's the right answer.
That is the right
That's the right
answer.
Even if you're watching them burn a beautiful piece of meat, you'll just let it happen?
exactly. Well, I'll go into another room and I'll be polite.
Drink that whiskey. That's when the whiskey comes in.
He like screams into a pillow. Thank you so much, Chef. DBL Nation, catch Crime Scene Kitchen Season 2. It's airing Mondays on Fox. Thanks again, Chef. We will be right back.
Thanks.
Looks fun.
Thanks, brother.
Good to see you guys.